Am I? Am I really? Today's a holiday. A holiday. Come on, let's go. I'm doing Facebook Live because wanting to create more on Facebook. So, I don't know. There you go. My fingerprints. Yes, I'm wearing my apron. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Got my hair up. Here I am. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. And we're going to look at the astrology today. I know. I know what I'm wearing. I know what I'm wearing. I have a lot of these. A lot. So today is Monday, August 3rd. And I was just thinking tomorrow would be my father's birthday. My father was born in 1919. So he'd be like, what, 106, 107 if he was still alive? That'd be pretty cool. I don't know if that would be cool for him, but being that old, because your body just doesn't. I know at 62, my body doesn't work very well at times. I can't imagine what it would be like in 100 and how your body would be working. That's for sure. So welcome. So what am I doing right now? Why am I wearing this? It's because I was working with Mod Podge and I'm painting and I'm messy. So that's why I'm doing this. And I have a couple more orders for my snail mail. Yeah. So that makes me really excited. So what I'm doing is that I have to paint a couple more pictures for it. And that's what I'm doing. So I have watercolor paper. It's my last piece too, so I'm going to have to get more and going to be creating my painting on here. So, but I have to prime it, wet it, and then I have to paint it the background that I had all the other ones and stuff. So, yeah. So that's what I'm doing today so far. Hope you're all having a fabulous day as we're doing this. So I know sometimes I don't know about the algorithm. Sometimes it goes out, sometimes it doesn't. But we are just going with it. That's what we are doing. So what's happening with the astrology today? Like, really? I mean, it's not actually that bad. Hey, Lexi. Morning. You got here. Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. Lexi's going. Lexi's going. Hey, I saw that picture you posted on Facebook. I think it was from was it 2019 or something? Man, girl, you are one hottie. You are just a little hottie. Whoop whoop. You're a gorgeous looking woman. There we go. Hiding away out in the meadows. She's like, I like it that way. I like it that way. I don't need to deal with people. Hiding that gorgeousness. And then when I was looking at your picture, Lexi, I'm like, I bet you she was a real, like, well, I kind of know, but a real badass when she was in high school. Like, it's like, this is a badass girl. A badass shy girl. That's what I got. Being out there doing the thing, but still have this little bit of shyness. That's very much a part of you. So, hence it's just like, yeah. I was always the good girl. I was the one that everybody allowed to hang out with because, I was the girl, the good girl. Everybody, the families thought I was like, oh, yeah, you can hang out with her. She comes from the good Catholic family. I so wanted to be bad. But I ended up being the one who had to take care of everybody when they did badass shit. So, whatever. Still the mama. Whatever. So I'm painting the back for the pictures that I have to paint. That's what I'm doing right now. Hence, I'm wearing one of my many aprons that I got from working at that place for many, many years. And you accumulate aprons. And when I first started at Starbucks, just an FYI, we didn't keep our aprons. We weren't allowed to keep our aprons. They would be laundered out every week, and then you'd hope to come in on the day that they come in, so you'd get the good aprons. So you put your name tag on it, and you'd have to basically wear it till it was like crusty before you throw it in. I mean, and then they switched, and then you became responsible for your own apron and stuff like that. So I don't know which way would be cheaper or better. Um, because I was a manager, I had a couple aprons because, you know, shit would be spilt on you quite often, mocha and stuff like that, and all the other wonderful things. So, anyways, that's why I'm wearing this today. Plus, I decided to wear a white shirt, and it's a little bit cooler today, so it's quite nice. So I'm gonna put this over here, let it dry. I think I have some other ones. Ah, yes. Gonna bring in some of this one. I got my pink watercolor. So whoever ordered for the snail mail, tomorrow I'm going to be going up to the mail. I'm not going to put them in the mailbox. I explained that yesterday. The mailbox, I don't know when they pick up the mail from the mailbox, and it could sit there for 3 or 4 days before someone goes to pick it up. So I'm not sure on the whole thing with that, with the mailboxes. I know when I send it at Shoppers Drug Mart, the post office is closed today because it's a holiday. So tomorrow will be open. I'll just hop on the bus and go up and get it done. It's just so much easier. So, anyways, let's go look at what the astrology is doing. Chiron is retrograde, and this is Chiron's retrograde is stationed at 052 degrees Taurus. So, actually, it's not a bad retrograde, really. They give us a chance to breathe and slow down, and they allow us to get things just enough that we can finally hear ourselves. And I think that's really a cool thing to do. What I find is fascinating about this Chiron, it's the first retrograde at the beginning of Taurus since 1976. That's a long cycle. That's 50 years. There was in I think Santa Monica, they had what was it called? The dog. It's to do with skateboarding, and it was the 50th year anniversary, and they had some of the old original guys who used to do skateboarding that really made it popular, because in 76 there was a huge drought in in um in LA, and skateboarders would jump the fence and go skateboarding in people's pools. And that's brought in a whole new sort of the skateboarding. It brought in the surfboarding and that sort of genre, or that generation, and made it a huge thing, even though skateboarding came out in around 1963. That's 62 years ago, but 63 years ago. So it had been around, but it just got to its popularity like 10 years later. It just took off. And with a lot of young guys just making it trendy and doing like 8 millimeter video, like filming it and stuff like that, getting it out there. And it just became quite a thing. I remember my neighbor getting his skateboard and thinking it's cool, and then doing sort of the jumps on it. And then skateboard parks started to pop up and everything else all over the place. And I was never a skateboarder. I thought it was very cool. I thought it was cool that these people could skateboard, but wasn't my athletic ability was not there, just saying. My body was more prone to long distance, like running, doing running, jogging, yoga, cycling, and things like that. But anyways, that was a little bit of a tidbit on some of the energies of what was happening, say 50 years. So you got to look at some of the trends that were coming out. And it's also telling me we're entering completely new territory. And this is a territory, especially with Taurus, around relationships and value and worth and stability and what truly matters, right? And if you look at the sky today, it's really interesting. The moon's in Aries, sitting between Saturn and Neptune in Aries. We have all of this fire, the sun and Jupiter in Leo. And today the moon forms this beautiful trine to the sun. So the momentum, there's courage, there's life wanting to move forward. But Chiron says before you race ahead, let's make sure you're not dragging an antique store behind you. You know, there might be some things in there that you just don't need. And that's really what this retrograde feels like. Inside each of us is I'm going to say, an old antique shop filled with pieces we've carried for years. And, I love antique shops, but there's only so many things and little things that we can actually utilize or carry around. Um, and this is where inside each of us, this little antique shop is where we have to start going around and looking. And are you still holding on to chipped china? Yeah, because it belonged to your great grandmother, or you just think it's so cool and you just might do something with it someday. Maybe, um, probably not. You just thank you. Oh, my breakfast. I'm not going to be long here. And this isn't about just saying I'm worthy. It's deeper than the affirmation. With Pluto bringing beginning to belong and towards its square, I feel like, especially over the coming year, the universe is asking for honesty. Are those wounds still serving a purpose? Or have they become part of your identity? Because there's a difference, I feel so much of life right now feels external. The world is changing rapidly. Relationships are changing, careers are changing, technology is transforming. And I was listening to, who's it, Winehouse, right? And he was on the Prepper, the Canadian Prepper, and he talks about, usually through every generation, there's some kind of revolution, right? And we have gone through, I think we're on our fifth revolution, like just within my generation, where we have not only the computers, right? The computers coming, well, I'm going to say even television coming into the homes, right? So television really making its way into the homes. That was huge. Then the computers, then the phone, and from there came the web, and then from there now we're on AI. These revolutions that have really momentively changed our world and changed our dynamics, changed our interaction with people and what that interaction is with one another. And the retrograde, I feel, is really getting us to really look at those things in our lives, look at what is meaningful. Is that chipped cup really meaningful in our life? I mean, I have a willow set, and it's sort of a mismatched willow set, but it's old, right? And one of the dishes, the dessert dishes just broke in half. I mean, it's so old. And I'm thinking, I got to get the glue. I'm going to glue it back together. And it's sitting, it's a perfect break. But do I need to keep it? It's hard for me to throw that away because one, I mean, some of the pieces in the willow six, we use it every day actually. And I love the dinner plates. The dinner plates are big, right? And what I love about it is, like, it's not only it's an antique, but it's the blue and the white, and I love blue and the white. And there's just something nostalgic about it. There's something about eating on really nice china, right? That is that's made well, that, you know, there's something about it. But then there's also that piece where it's like, when are you going to move forward? What do you need to let go so you don't have to hold on to that so much anymore, right? And it's, this is where it's asking, who are you becoming? And just as importantly, who are you no longer? And Venus is still in Virgo. And honestly, I believe the South Node has moved, I'm really relieved that the South Node has moved out of there. It's just like breathing. And Venus gets to do what Virgo does best: clean house, get things organized, dust, organize closets, make life more efficient. And that same energy applies to your self-worth. Like, are you still carrying around the old criticism, the old stories that you tell that you're not enough, right? Old voices that you aren't even yours anymore. And it's time to clean them out. You don't need them around. Mercury is now moving beautifully through Cancer, and after its retrograde, we're finally gaining emotional clarity. And we're communicating more honestly. And with Mars and Gemini, it keeps us moving. This Venus still squares Mars. I mean, they're still having that little tug of war thingy. And but we're beginning to feel more relief than the pressure. And I feel like it'll return a little bit, well, return a lot while Venus retrogrades in a couple months in October. But right now, we're finally having enough space to breathe. And with that Leo Aries fire, it's like, let's make it happen. But Chiron reminds us, I mean, Chiron is one of, the wounded healer. Don't build your future using outdated beliefs about yourself, right? We're still unrolling the dice. We're still stepping into the unknown. But now the question is like, what actually belongs in the life that we're creating? Because if you're constantly criticizing yourself, if you're constantly always telling yourself that you're not good enough, then when opportunities finally around, you're going to push them away. You won't feel like you deserve them, right? And that Chiron um deepest lesson: raise your own value first, raise yourself up first, then you'll recognize that the value that's arriving. The Leo energy with the Sun and Jupiter is redesigning our courage, redesigning our heart, and our creativity, our dreams, our relationships, and our joy. And Jupiter moving towards its opposition to Pluto, with the nodes now in Leo and Aquarius. This is transformational. The story isn't ending anytime soon. We'll be working with these themes for the next year. So, redesigning your dreams, redesigning your heart, making sure they're connected to the future you actually want to build, not the past that you're trying to recreate. We're not trying to recreate the past. We're trying to recreate something new, something more inviting for yourself. And that intense pressure I feel for July is beginning to separate. Things are sorting themselves out. Some chapters are closing, other chapters are opening. And I think today's brings a really nice relief. And I know for us, I mean, it's been so hot here and it is cooler today. The sun is still out. It's still not a bad day, right? But sometimes it's simply asking you to stop carrying around beliefs that no longer belong. And one of the things I know for myself, hello, Alfonso. One of the beliefs that I have had for myself is that being an artist, or being able to paint or create, was something that, because I hung around when I was younger, back in the day, a family that was very artistic, and they could sing and play guitar and they could draw and they could do all these things. And that, when I look back at it, it's just like, if you couldn't do that kind of thing, even though they were my friends, they kind of thought less of you in a way. And when I was starting to do, you know, when I started to step into my own creativity, it kind of shocked them. Like, "Oh, really? You can draw, Mary? You could do that?" And I thought, I never thought anything about it till many moons later, where it's like, yeah, I can do these things. I'm a really good crafter. I'm really good at creating things, right? And hence, in doing the letters from Mama G was like, okay, oh, are you worthy to do it? It's only artists that are doing. Oh, they're young girls, young women, ages between 25 and 35 that are really trending with this. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck that. I might be a late bloomer, but it's okay. Louise Hayes was a late bloomer too. Like she didn't really start her stuff till she was in her late 50s, 60s and started doing, the things that she really, publishing her books and publishing other books and stuff like that. It's just you do what you do, right? And step into it. And I feel this energy is really pushing that. The cards that I got today, the 10 of cups, the 6 of cups, and the emperor. The 10 of cups is beautiful because it's the family, it's the dreams, the possibilities, right? And the 6 of cups, surrounding yourself with people and environments that feel safe, genuine, and nourishing. We don't build beautiful lives in places where we don't feel seen. And the emperor is that showing your authority. This is your road. This is your life. And lead your life with confidence instead of waiting for permission. So my message today is don't chase the quick fix. Build a beautiful life. One alignment, step at a time. And I appreciate all of you. I really do. And being a part of this community and being here as I'm creating. I'm going to add another coat of pink on here because I do my little flowers on this piece. So creating that, creating the recipes. Oh, the recipe for August. I mean for September is going to be very cool. Um, it's a recipe that Steve said that they used to. It was a recipe from when he was a child. It was really um, something that I guess his mom made, and they would have around all the time. So that's really cool. So that's going to be the recipe for September and doing that up. So just enjoy what you're doing, enjoy your life. If something there that you really love to create it, right? I just sent you an email regarding in an alternative format. Okay. I'll take a look out for that and see. All right, Alfonso. So I'm going to send you guys out so much love. My breakfast is there, and I'm going to have my breakfast, and I want you guys to have a fabulous day. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you and all you say and all you be and all you do. Thank you for being a part of my community and for us creating this beautiful world. I know it can be. All right. Bye bye.